Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from SweetStamper.com, and I am here for your weekly simple and stepped up stamping. And today I have another spooky edition for you. I have my trusty little black cat earrings on from my friend Terry Lynn, and I have a fun project for you. So every week I broadcast to you live here at facebook.com/sweetstamper, and I broadcast on Thursdays with a simple project. So we start with the basics of stamping. We start with stamps, ink, and paper. And then we kind of step it up a few notches and see what we can come up with. Last week, I did a simple project with you. I think that was last week, yeah. I did another Halloween project with you. So I just thought, you know, we are about 6 weeks away from Halloween, and I sure hope I'm on in the right place because I don't see anybody here yet. And usually I've got somebody on with me by now, so let me make sure I'm in the right spot. It has happened before, where although if I'm doing this on my personal page, I have all kinds of people joining me that don't typically join me for Facebook Live. So I am here in the right place. And Gail is here. Welcome. I'm so glad to see you. So I have a, like I said, a Halloween project. So this is our spooky day again. Hi, Linda. And of course, you know, with all of these kind of holiday oriented items that we make, you can then, what's what I'm looking for? Change them up. And there was another word. It was some word that escaped me. You can change them up to a different holiday. So I know that the ones I did last week, let me go grab them because let me go grab these. Hang on one second. Hey, Cindy, welcome. I did these little bags with you, I think it was just last week. So I made these little tiny treat boxes with you. And I mean, they come together so quickly and so easily, and they're so tiny. So one of my helpers actually did a whole bunch of these for me, and I've got a whole box of them. So these are going to be going in customer boxes and bags this month and next. So, but they come together really quick. And so what I've got for you today is going to come together really quick. Having said that, I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera down and let's get stamping. Okay, there's a little bit of fall in the air here in San Antonio, which is always a very welcome thing. And, you know, I'm trying to get my lighting situation a little bit better so it doesn't bleach out. I think that's maybe a little bit better. I don't know. Anyway, I'm here and you're here and we're going to have fun stamping. So without further ado, let me take you down the road we're going to go today, and that is the road of clever cats. Now this is a stamp set that I'm using. I actually have a class that is still open for registration for a couple more days, and now that's still really glaring. Okay, let's see what we can do here. It's still, I don't know why I'm getting such a glare on there. There we go. Okay, now we're cooking. So Gail, I'm glad you love the stamp set. And Susan, you made 9 of those little treat boxes in no time. Yeah, they do come together so quickly. So this Clever Cats is super cute. I think I might be able to, yeah. This is my class that's going right now for registration. I don't have the projects in front of me, but anyway, there's 4 cards and then 2 3D items. It's a lot of fun. So that is still open for registration. I'll put the link here. It's on my blog, but you definitely want to get in on that. I only have a few more days open on this class, and you're going to want to get in on it. So Gail, I'm glad you like my lighting. I've been struggling. I've got 3 main lights. My studio space is quite large, square footage wise, and so I've struggled to get the right lighting. Hi Jackie, I'm glad you're here. So this is the stamp set that I'm going to use today, and I do have my scoreboard out, as you can see. So let me bring, trying to see how I can better position this. I do have my score lines already typed up for you, and what I'm going to be doing is, as soon as I'm done here, I'll finish my little inspiration sheet for you, but I'm going to let you help me choose which cardstock we're going to use. So like I said, this is going to be a spooky, this is a spooky edition of Facebook Live, and I'm going to use one of these, or maybe two of these, because I'm going to make a cute little bag, and I'm going to make it with cardstock. A lot of times we make these bags with designer paper, and you could make this exact bag with designer series paper, but I'm making it with cardstock because, number one, this is simple stamping, and we start with stamps, ink, and paper. And number two, when you make it with cardstock, it is a firmer, stiffer, sturdier box or bag. So with that being said, let's start with the stamping, and then we will go to the scoring. Okay, let's see. So what I have is, I'm going to do two because we're going to do simple and stepped up. This is a photopolymer stamp set, and I think this is a 2 1/4 by 2 1/2 inch piece. And what I'm going to do is use my Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm going to make a jack-o'-lantern on these. Super simple. One of the things I really like about the Clever Cat stamp set is it has some great Halloween images with the witch's hat and the broom, the spider, and the jack-o'-lantern. And of course the black cats we do associate with Halloween as well. But the cats can go for birthdays, they can go for other times of the year. I mean, the Hey Crazy Cat is a super cute greeting. And also, really, I've been this cute all 9 lives. So cat lovers, this is a perfect stamp set for you. So let's go in with our jack-o'-lantern stamp first. And I am using my Tuxedo Black ink, and I'm just going to stamp it near the bottom of my little piece of basic white cardstock. And you remember that when you're using photopolymer stamps, you want to hold the stamp in place for a couple of seconds. You don't want to just pop it on and then lift right up. You want to give it a chance to really adhere to your cardstock. Now I'm done with that, so I am going to, shocker of all shockers, I'm actually going to clean this stamp and put it away. I was working a lot in my studio yesterday, and there was stuff everywhere, but I did get a lot of it cleaned up because I got a lot of it finished yesterday, which is always a good thing. Now I'm going to choose this little cat that peeks out over the top of my jack-o'-lantern, and I'm going to try to get him lined up just so. Perfect. Now I will tell you that if you ever are lining something up like this and you get it just a wee bit off, what will always, see there's a little tiny gap there, and this is where your basic black Stampin' Write marker will really come in handy for you, because I can come in here and I can just fill in that little spot, and then you can't tell. So this is one of those things that you definitely want to have on hand. Hey Marlene, I'm glad you're here. We're doing a spooky edition of Facebook Live. Okay, so I'm done with the little cat image. Now you'll notice that this is a fairly small piece of cardstock. And I wanted to put a bat up in the kind of the sky above there. And I wanted to show you that I'm not using this bat, to me, is a little bit large. So they give you 2 bats in the stamp set, and you have the large and the small. I like things to fit according to scale, and I want my jack-o'-lantern to be really front and center, and I want it to, nothing else to detract from it. I want it to really dominate. And oh, today is your birthday, Marlene. Happy birthday to you. Marlene is part of my team, and during our team meeting the other night, she was in a drawing, and she was in that drawing because of some great things she's doing in her own business. And lo and behold, she won the drawing, and it was for the Peaceful Cabin Bundle. So it was quite a hefty prize, and I was so pleased for her because it's her birthday week, and she won that prize. So we have our little bat there. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to do It's Halloween. So super, super simple. This is black ink. It is white cardstock. I mean, it's as simple as it gets when it comes to paper crafting. Stamps, ink, and paper. Boom, we're done. Now, one of the things that I like to do, hey Diana, I'm so glad you are joining us, and we are using the Clever Cats stamp set. So this is where we are, and I'm going to just take a moment and clean these stamps and put them away. Not only is this something that I need to practice more of, but one of the things that I find when using the Tuxedo black ink, or any black ink for that matter, but that's our main black ink, is that sometimes, even though it technically dries very quickly, yeah, if you start handling this before it is totally dry, you're going to end up with little black smudges, and I really don't want that to happen. So this is where, you know, you take a minute and you clean your stamps, you get some tidying up done, so that has a chance to completely dry. Because although there is a fill-in stamp for the pumpkin, I could fill it in with this. I'm going to actually use my blends to fill this in. I want to have a little bit more ability to shade and get a little bit of what's what I'm looking for, depth of color. Hey Simone, I'm glad you're here. So that's why I opted to use the blends rather than just the ink. So now I feel like this has probably really dried well. I am going to pop a little bit of paper underneath. Let me just use this. This is the a little bit of trash that I'm going to use here. And I'm going to do two things. I have the gray out. This is my color palette that I'm going to be choosing from. And I want you to be thinking about which bag, what color bag I should make. I have Smoky Slate, Pumpkin Pie, and Basic Gray. And I have Smoky Slate and Pumpkin Pie blends. Now you might look and think, well, where the heck is she going to put Smoky Slate? I'm going to put a little bit of Smoky Slate right under my pumpkin. Now, although it might be fitting to put to my pumpkin to be levitating, I typically don't want to have something that is just kind of hanging out there in outer space, as it were. I want there to be a defined space for what, you know, it's on ground, it's on a table, it's on something, but it's not just hanging in the air. So that is what I did there. And now I'm going to come in with my dark pumpkin pie. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline my my jack-o'-lantern. He's more than a pumpkin. Pumpkin with a face on it is a jack-o'-lantern. And, you know, I've told you guys before, I'm a Halloween baby. And I had 3 brothers growing up. I'm the youngest. And I can tell you that when I was missing my 2 front teeth, oh my goodness, the teasing I got at home about being a jack-o'-lantern, about being a spook. Oh yeah. Boys will be boys. And my brother that was right above me, he was 2 years ahead of me. He was kind of my arch nemesis. We used to fight and fuss, and my mother used to tell me every time I'd said something about it, she'd say, you know, if you would just ignore him, he'd leave you alone. How many of you guys have said that to your own kids or to your grandkids? Yeah, that's a lot easier said than done. Okay, I'm going to go behind here with my light pumpkin pie and just fill this in. And you know, you can just go right over the black because it's not going to bring any color into that black. It's not going to hurt anything at all. So there is my 2 jack-o'-lanterns. These are ready to go. And I will say that when you're doing these, I think it's just, most of the time, it's just as simple to make one as 2. The other thing is if you're making 2 projects at once, if you happen to mess up on one, yeah, you have another one right there. You don't have to start over completely because you're already there. Okay, so there we have my 2 little pumpkins. Now it's time to make our box. Based on my pumpkins, tell me what size, or what, not what size, this is a half sheet of cardstock is what we're going to use. So tell me what you want to use. Hey Valerie, I'm glad you're here. What should I use for my bags? Bag, box, it's actually kind of it's a bag with a closure. So it kind of becomes a box. So I'll wait to hear what everybody has to, what everybody's opinion is. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. This is fantastic for bags. And I am going to get my paper snips. And that's really about all I need for this. Smoky Slate. Okay, we're going to do 1 Smoky Slate. I got another one because I'm doing 2. And then we can decide which one we like the best. I need my trimmer as well. So I've got my half sheet of Smoky Slate for 1. And I'm going to go ahead and start scoring this one while we wait for people to weigh in on a second color. If we're going to do pumpkin pie or basic gray. And I will tell you that I'm going to be, okay, Smoky Slate and pumpkin pie it is. Now I'm going to take, although these are half sheets, I'm going to actually take both pieces because I need 1 sheet plus 1 half sheet plus a little bit more. So here we go. Let's get scoring. And like I said, I have my score marks already in a document for you. I just wasn't sure which piece of paper we were going to choose. So I do find that if you do a fair amount of scoring on card making or on boxes, the Simply Scored is definitely what you want to use. It just makes life so much quicker and simpler and easier. I love it. So I'm going to do a 1/2 inch here, whoopsie, a 1/2 inch there, and then I've got, I think it's 3 1/2, 4 1/2, 7 1/2, pretty easy. So, and Basic Gray was from Elaine. Well, you know, well, I've only got 2, so we're gonna do these for now. The Basic Gray would be nice and dark, which would be cool. Now, I am going to turn this on the side and I'm going to do a 1 inch score line here on both of them. Now, I do need one other little piece. And so for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my little trimmer and I have my half sheets here. And I need 3 1/2 by 1. So for me, the easiest way to do this is to create a 1 inch piece because then I'm creating less waste here and I'll be able to use that piece. Oh, I did that wrong. It's supposed to be 2 inches. Well, I have a 1 inch piece there now. Okay, so I need this to be 2 inches by 3 1/4. Okay. So I've got some nice little scraps there to use on something else. And I need one other piece that is 2 inches by 3 1/4. Now, both of these pieces, these are my scraps that I don't need. Let me get those out of the way so they don't confuse me. Don't need that one. Both of these pieces I'm going to score at 1 inch. So basically I'm just putting a score line down the center and I can do that of course right here with my trimmer. So the trimmer I use a lot. I use the scoring tool a lot. Simply Scored. So to me, they're both essential. If you do a lot of paper crafts, you really need both. They are just workhorse tools that you will use again, again, and again. One other thing I did not get out, and I definitely need, is a bone folder. So let me grab that, and we are going to make some little treat bags. Okay, so let's start with basic gray, and we are going to score on, or fold really well and crease really well all of these score lines. Again, this is a cardstock box, and so it's going to have a lot of heft. It's going to have a lot of sturdiness, which means you can put something fairly heavy in here if you want. For my purposes today, I'm going to just put a little treat in here. But because of the size of this and because of the weight of it, you know, you could put a piece of jewelry in here. You could put all kinds of things. You could put some nail polish. You could put some makeup. You know, if you're doing it for the guys, I think, well, no, it's probably a little bit too narrow. You could put like golf tees. You could put some fishing tackle stuff in here. You could put lots of fun things. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this little piece right here, and I don't get too fussed about this. I'm going to cut there, and then I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to cut here. Now I am going to miter these because to me it just makes the box a lot easier to put together. And so that just makes them into little triangular pieces, which fold in a lot easier. So that's it, super simple. This is my trash that I don't need. Look at these cute little bags. This cute little, what do you call it? A little scrap bag that I got from one of my stamping friends. Her friend was making those, so I bought a bunch of them. I'm going to be using them as team incentives. So those of you who are on my team, stay tuned because we'll have something fun coming up with prizes to give away. I bought quite a few of them. So they're really nice, and I think that they are perfect for our stamping spaces because they don't take up much room, and they're perfect for just sweeping my little scraps into. Okay, so this is ready to go. I've got 2 of them ready. I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm just going to run it right along that piece there. I'm going to do this on both pieces so I can just run these at the same time. Diana, I'm glad you like little things like this. You know, it's funny because this is such a simple thing. This is a half sheet of cardstock and then a little scrap for the top. But honestly, it takes something that's really ordinary and makes it very special. And I do like that. Okay, and I find the easiest way to do this is just to lay it flat and then like so. Now we're ready to assemble the bottom of our box. So we just tuck these little guys in. And the reason I didn't, you can miter this too, but the reason I didn't is I wanted there to be a really solid piece along there. So let's just do, let's make sure it's going to hold together really, really well. So let's put a little bit here. And again, you can just keep flattening your box, and then it makes life a lot simpler until you get this far. And then you really can't flatten it anymore. You got to keep it in its box form. And there we go here. Woo! You know, sometimes my Seal Plus does that to me. And it will grab my, oh, it's grabbing the cardstock. Okay, let's go to plan B. Sometimes it does that, and I confess I'm not totally sure why. I have a feeling it's because I'm heavy-handed and I'm pressing too hard. So I'm gonna have to clean that out, and I don't wanna have to do that while I'm stamping with y'all. So let's just trim that, and we are going to use the, what do you call it? Tear and tape, which I do love. But you know, I'm a lazy stamper and I love being able to just do this instead of having to cut. So there's my little box right there. Now let's do the one in pumpkin pie. And then we're gonna do some fun stuff putting it together because there is more coming. Wait till you see what I'm gonna do. Let's just see if we can pull this off. You know, I think what happened was, I think I didn't get it all. Haha, I did it. Woohoo! Okay, so let's do this here and this here. There we go. That. Yeah, I was making it too hard. Then if you just take your bone folder and just kind of press, then all of your adhesive is really, really stuck. Now, I didn't have a lot to fill in up here in my studio. So, as far as oh, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, that is what I wanted. I have a couple of these. Okay, so here we go. Now, this is going to be my simple, and this is going to be my stepped up, which means I'm going to add an extra layer of cardstock, and let's just see. Now, I could do that on both of them. What do you think? Do we like the frame? I think that little extra piece of cardstock really is simple too, because it's just stamped ink and paper. Do we like that little bit of black? Do we like that little bit of frame on there? This one's actually a little bit wider frame than this one, so tell me what y'all think. Do we like the frame? I think we probably do. I think we're gonna like the frame. Okay, Gail says she likes the frame. So let's go ahead and put the frame on, and then we're gonna do a little topper. Let me grab my treat. I'm going to put a trail mix bar in there. You guys know I'm the healthy eater around here, so I want to share healthy eating with my, you know, with whether I was going to give this to a coworker, to somebody at my church, to my kids or grandkids, I still am, you know, I've got this passion for the healthy eating. So I'm not going to fill this with chocolate. Maybe for a birthday, but not just for every day. Chocolate is good in its place. But I figure at Halloween, you're probably going to get a lot of chocolate. So let me be the person who gives you something healthy. Okay, now this is also going to just be stuck down with more of the seal. And I'll tell you why. Because this is going to have something in it, and I could, although it would look really cute with dimensionals, I don't want it flying off. So I'm going to just stick that down really firm. Okay, everybody's liking the frame. Glad I made two. And like I said, the little white piece is 2 1/4 by 2 1/2, I believe. And I do have all my measurements already written out. I was just waiting to drop in the cardstock bits because I wasn't sure which color we were going to use. Although it's just a pretty small detail. Okay, now you can see the difference in one of these has a larger frame because this one's cut at I think this is 2 1/2 by 2 3/4, and this one is like a little 1/16 frame. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we are gonna make a little top for these boxes. Now, Candy does not like to do a lot of fussy scoring and stuff. So I'm a simple girl, and I've made a little hat for my boxes. And I'll tell you the way I like to do this is I've made it just a wee bit wider than my box, and I'm just taking a staple and I'm going all the way to the edge, just as far as I can get to the very edge and still have it staple through. Because what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pop this in here. I could actually put a second one in there. And then I'm going to take this little guy, I'm gonna squeeze this down, pinch it in the sides, and then I'm going to open this up just a little bit, and then that is going to form a little hat for my box. And boom, I have a nice little closed treat box. Well, let's see. And because it's cardstock and because it's a tight fit, it actually is really, really sturdy. Let me get it on straight. Well, maybe made it too tight. What do you think? What do you think? I think it's pretty cute. So that is my little treat box. I guess I should put it right side up for you. Let's do this one, and then we're gonna see what else we can do to step this up a little bit more. So because we're gonna do one of them, we're gonna step up, and one of them we're gonna leave a little bit more plain. So I think that, I'm glad you like my little top, Gail. I think it's clever to go with my clever cats. Oops, see, there we go. There we go. I kind of mashed it. So there it looks, see, if you have something flatter in there, it's gonna come out a little bit flatter. Here you can see where it's bulging because it has a thicker treat in there. So now I'm ready to do a little bit of something else. So let's see. I have, which one should I step up and which one should I make simple? Tell me what you're thinking, because I think what I'm gonna do is I wanna cover this. And so let's take a little piece of, these are just, I don't save these little thin strips most of the time, but when it's basic white cardstock, I do. Because I could always find a use for those little skinny strips of basic white. So what I'm gonna do, okay, we're gonna step up the smoky slate. Okay, we've got 2 votes for stepping up the smoky slate. He does look like he needs a little something, doesn't he? Because he's the plainer of the 2. Because he doesn't have as much color on him. So let's pull this in first. And this, we're still going stamps, ink, and paper. Yeah, I can't get that little guy. Okay, so let's start here with this little piece. And let's bring our stamp set back out. And what do we want to put across the top here? See, that's what I'm wanting to do on both of these. And I only have my black ink. You remember we're using limited supplies. This is something I could do anywhere I was, I could just pack a few things and take them with me on a camping trip, or if I was out and about somewhere. So I think maybe the broom is too wide. Maybe I'll do some spiders. Or should I do a row of bats? Maybe we'll do one of each. Let's try the larger bat. Since we used the smaller bat there, let's see if the larger bat might be just the ticket. And this, maybe we'll do bats and spiders. Let's see. Let's see how we can get on with that. And this is where, when you have a stamp set, honestly, this has so many cute images. There's a lot to work with. I think it's just stellar. And it's only $17. So, I mean, it's a real bargain. I think it's $17, I'm pretty sure. Somebody's gonna look at the catalog real quick and correct me, but I'm pretty sure, or confirm. So there's a reason I have that, I have some rolls of washi tape here, and I'll show you why in just a second. So let's bring our black. Now let's see, let's see if we put maybe we should put a bat in the middle on, where'd my other piece go? Oh, here it is. Let's put a bat in the middle of each of these. And then let's do a little spider on each side. Along came a spider and sat down beside her. And isn't it cute that these spider, it's almost like he's winking. The way they've positioned his eyes. Now let's do this one straight and we'll see which one we like better. Honestly, you don't need to even step up very much, but we're gonna step up just a little bit and just make it a little bit more glam. So Lisa, I'm glad you like my cute projects. Yeah, this is just, like I said, it's a half a sheet of cardstock plus just a little piece. You could even use a contrasting piece if you wanted to. So let's go ahead and put these down. Again, I'm going to use my Seal Plus because it's super sturdy, and I am putting it on my box top. So I want it to have, you know, I don't want it to come off easily. I want it to be really firm. Now, looky there. That's just stamps, ink, and paper. But I think it's a really cute little project. And Lisa, we're happy that you joined us, whether you came late or not. So I will have all the score marks and everything for you in the document that is going to be finalized. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to go make a cup of tea. I've already promised my hubby. We were eating a late lunch right before I came on camera, and I told him, as soon as I'm done, honey, I'm going to make us tea. So now let's see what we can do to glam up this little smoky slate guy, and I'll show you what I've got in my bag of tricks. Well, before I do that, let me show you. If you wanted to do this as a little crafty gift, let me show you. A black ink pad fits right in there. Boom. So if you would like to, hey Terry Lynn, I'm glad you're here. If you wanted to put some washi tape in here, look at there. You could fill this up with some little crafty supplies. So again, if you're wanting to do something other than chocolate, if you have your friends are watching their waistlines, or their health like I am, then maybe you would give them some crafty things. Or this one has my little granola bar in it. So just ideas on what you can tuck inside there. You know, the other thing that's a really nice gift is these are the Cutting Blade multi-pack. So I think you might maybe have to kind of pull it down a little bit, but look at there. You could give your friend some blades for their trimmer. So lots of cute little crafty ideas in addition to, you know, treats. I think treats come in lots of forms, and they're not all sugar. So lots of things that would be considered a treat. So let's go ahead and close this one back up. And then, there we go. Now let's do a little bit of blinging this guy up. So, see what I've got here in my bag of tricks. I have a couple of options here. Now, obviously, the black and white gingham ribbon would look adorable. It's on back order, so I'm not even going to go there. You may have some already. If you don't, you're going to have to wait a couple weeks for it. So I thought, well, let's do something else, because we do have more than just the black and white gingham ribbon. First of all, I think we're going to see about putting some Wink of Stella on this jack-o'-lantern. And let's just make him shine. And then he looks so cute. And let's do the kitty as well. That you can only see kind of up close, but that kind of adds a little something, something. Now, I could add a little bit of this black glitter ribbon, which I think it's a good fit. The other ribbon that I have that I think might look equally cute is that silver glitter ribbon. This was released in last year's mini catalog. It carried over to this year. And you know what's cool about this? It was actually intended for Halloween last year, but a lot of us have used this more for Christmas than we've used it for Halloween. Now that's a little bit of a honking, wonking, big old bow. However, I could trim down this bow, and let's see what we think. Is this a little bit too much, or is it about right? We could do something like that. Super cute with the silver bow. Then this really does still stand out. We could also do a bow with this. I'm not going to wrap, I could wrap all the way around, but I feel like with the, well, let's just do it. Let's do it. I was gonna say, because of what's inside, you could, I think that if you were gonna do the ribbon, you'd probably do it after you load up whatever treats you're putting on the inside. So let's do it like this, and let's do it like this. And you tell me if you think the bow is better. It's simple enough to just pull this off. I will say both of these ribbons tie really nicely. because they have a little bit of stiffness to them. So it makes them easy to tie. Okay, so there is the Skinny Black, the sparkly ribbon. Let me pull this down a little bit. See, it's because my box starts pulling out here because it's a bag with a top, so it's kind of a bag box. So what are we thinking? You like the black ribbon, Jackie? Okay. Yeah, I think the other ribbon might be a little bit too dainty. It's rather delicate. Oh, look at there. We could do that too. So let's, and you know, the other thing is these are projects that you could do. I think what I love about simple stamping is you can do it with your kids, your grandkids, you can do it with your neighbors, you can do it with people who've never stamped before. So I have a couple of ways to bling out my, because you know I want to add something else here. So let's look at our options. We have quite a few. I could add these rhinestones, these colored rhinestones from the holiday rhinestones. I could add just your basic silver rhinestones because they really tie in with that smoky slate. And I will say they tie in with that ribbon now that we have that ribbon there. The other thing we could do is what seems pretty natural, and that is the black dots. However, I think the black dots, they bring in more black, and I think we already have a lot of black there, so I think the black is going to be a little bit much. I think even here, you see how we already have a lot of black, so I think that's going to be too much of a good thing. So let's put the black aside, and let's think about what we're going to do as far as a little bit of an extra embellishment on our smoky slate Halloween treats box. I'm going to call it a box. It looks more like a box than a bag, don't you think? I think it's more of a box than a bag. So you can't resist stepping it up. Yeah, exactly, Terry Lynn. I have to do, this is our simple and this is our stepped up. The simple's really cute. I would definitely not hesitate to make these and give them. But you know, diamonds are a girl's best friend. We just added some silver glitter here. I mean, why not? And I see I'm at an angle. I don't know why I'm doing that. Put everything at an angle today. Hey, Jill, I'm glad you're here. We're doing simple and stepped up little Halloween boxes. And we are looking for what is going to be our stepped up. Are we going to use, let me do it this way. Here's our simple. Are we going to add colored rhinestones, or are we going to add, now the other thing we could do, no, we don't want more black. I was going to say, we could color these black. However, I already said, we have enough black. We have enough black. And if we get too much, then we can't, your eye can't tell where to land. I'm going to wait for somebody to give me a little direction here, and while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to clean these other stamps. And you know, this is where this stamp set, you have so many cute images, and you just can't go wrong, I think, because even when you look at these little guys, the other thing you could do, I can't even finish a sentence today. I'm just excited about these little Halloween guys. When I decided to do Halloween treats again, yeah, I started getting a little bit excited. These little, you could also, I think this is just a super cute one. You could take this pumpkin and put the witch's hat on top. It does fit and it looks super cute. And you could also put the cat on top, the bigger cat. So he will also sit on top of that pumpkin. So there's a lot of directions you can go with this. Okay. Pumpkin pie. Okay, so we're wanting to add color. Okay, I think from what I can gather, I think you're wanting me to add this to the pumpkin pie, and you think you're wanting me to add this over here. Is that correct? Have I got it right? Tell me if I'm interpreting your... Well, I could color them pumpkin pie, or I could just use these. But you know what? These are actually crushed curry. They're not totally pumpkin pie. So let me try coloring them with pumpkin pie. Now I think I understand what you're saying. So let's see, and let's just look at the difference, because technically I think these are like crushed curry. So let's see what that's going to look like. Let's color these with pumpkin pie. That's not coming through at all. What's steel? They're coming out really faint, really faint. But you know, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that little hint of color is better than this really strong color here. Now, where did my little, did I put my Pick a Tool away? See, this is what happens. I start trying to think, you know what, I'll be tidy, and then I clean things up before I'm done with them. So let's see. It's really faint. It's really faint. Now let me show you the difference between that, and there's a white, a clear one. See, it's really faint. Usually they come out a little bit darker than that. No, that's it. That is it. Or I could go with one of these, which is from the Holiday Rhinestones. So tell me what you're thinking. Yeah, I'm going to put it on the gray box, but I think it's showing up better. Well, let's see. Let's put them here and see if they don't show up better here. Okay, there's the Holiday Rhinestone. There's the clear, and there's the pumpkin. Oopsie. There's the pumpkin pie. I think these Holiday Rhinestones are the ones that have a little better show. So let's just try to put a few of those down and see where we get. This is the very end of a set that I had. So let's go with 1, 2, and then let's put our third one right up here by our, what do we think? What do we think, ladies? We blinged one up and we left one plain. What do we think? We have simple and we have stepped up. I need to get this on straight. It's a little bit cattywampus, I think. Let's see if I can fiddle with it a little bit. Like I said, these are a tight fit. The other thing you can do, and I have done before, is you can make this a little bit longer, but it looks more like a hat then, and I wanted it to be a tight fit. So if it's a little bit wonky, I'm okay with that. It's handmade. It is definitely handmade. I don't know if I like that. I think it looks a little bit lost up there. I think I'm going to bring this down like here, right above between the cat and the bat. I think that's a better placement. It looks a little bit lost up there at the top. Okay, so Terry says they're both swell. I like that kind of feedback. So yeah, quick, easy on supplies, one stamp set that will take you through Halloween with all of these amazing images. And you know, I think that there's a lot you can do without punching them out, without fussy cutting them. There's a lot to be said for just stamping them on paper and making your cute little scene and being done with it. Sometimes we complicate things, and I love stepped up things, but I think that there is a lot to be said for simple stamping, and that's what we did today. Every Thursday we do simple stamping, and I appreciate you being here and supporting me and cheering me on. I am going to sign off with you. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thanks again for being here. Don't forget, it is just a few days left for my Clever Cats class. So I just showed you today how you can use the stamp set to make more treats. And I think that you can add on the stamp set with your class if you so choose. But the class itself gives you 2 treats. I've got one of them right here, little treat boxes. And I can't figure out where I put the others. Anyway, I got a lot of classes being prepped here and heading out the door and things going in the mail today. So thanks again for being here. I do enjoy stamping with you. Thank you for tuning into my spooky edition of simple and stepped up stamping. Spooky with my little black cat earrings. That's how I made it spooky. And of course, we're doing these fun Halloween projects. And I think that one of the things is, as paper crafters, we don't want to just put candy in somebody's bag when they come to our house for trick-or-treating, or if we're handing out. It's the great time to just hand out. It's to just bless our world. So I think you can take all of October and hand out these little treats to your mailman, to your bank teller, to your hairdresser, to your church friends, to your neighborhood. They don't break the bank, you know? And especially, I will say, I don't eat a lot of chocolate because my health can't afford that. But also, the chocolate is the expensive candy. If you put hard candies in these, it's a lot less expensive. And thank you, Terry Lynn. I'm glad you like my earrings. These are actually a gift from Terry. You know, my daddy, he used to have a little hard candy with him all the time. And he always used to say, well, it helps me wet my whistle. And it wasn't like he'd eat like 1 or 2 a day, but it was like, it was that little, I guess maybe some people do it with breath mints, and you could certainly put Tic Tacs or something in there. But, you know, just that little piece of hard candy, or even like those little mini Tootsie Rolls, they are also only 10, I think they're not 10 calories. They're 1 Weight Watcher point. But they're low. I know that at Planet Fitness, they used to give out the little tiny Tootsie Rolls. So there's some things like that you can do where you can indulge in a little bit of sugar, a little bit of something sweet, and share it with those around you. And like I said, if I have all those bags of chocolate here in my studio, yeah, I'm eating them. So I'm doing this for my benefit as well as the people around me. So that is the way I'm doing my Halloween treats. And like I said, a lot of kids especially, they're going to get a ton of sugar on Halloween. They're going to get so much sugar. And even families that do it kind of, or you know, friends and people, they're going to get sugared out the whole month of October. So being able to wrap up some, you know, a little granola bar, a little something different. You know, you could also put little gift cards in here, and you could also put with the granola bar or without it, put a little gift card in here. You could also put in like gift cards to like Chick-fil-A or something like that. So lots of, you know, I think that it's a good thing to think about healthy options whenever we're giving treats, because good health is something that we need for all of our days. And every time we invest in our health, we're investing in our future. So that is my little spiel to go with my simple and stepped up Halloween treats. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, it's the last few days to register for my class. And don't forget to tune in. Tuesday, I will be back here with Teach Me Tuesday. I think we're going to be doing more with treats. And I will be here then at 2 p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please share my video if you have a mind to. That helps me so much. Take care and God bless.